Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out AmItheA whole. Story 1. AITA called out someone as being a jerk, then friend calls me a bully and condescending. Hello Reddit. I was playing a video game with a few people. Some of them I knew, some I didn't. As we were playing, Jerry, new person, got beat and then said, "That guy's gay." This repeated 3 times with varying degrees of this language. On the third occurrence I replied, "They're gay, hey." "Yeah, Jerry. What about them makes you think they're gay?" "Me." This was done in a calm and matter-of-fact delivery. Jerry was silent and did not offer an answer. Robert, friend, jumped in quickly and called me out, quoting some phrases from their objection. "Oh boy, here we go again asterisk. They were just on autopilot and probably misspoke." To Jerry, some people get offended by that language, to me, but also being passive-aggressive and condescending is just as bad. When I see bullying, picking on, I'll always call it out. I feel this was totally uncalled for as I wasn't being mean. Simply asking a question. I was intentionally speaking to them like they were a child. Their behavior was childish. Robert and I followed up in a phone call to discuss what had happened. The big takeaway from that call was that he thought I was bullying Jerry and being condescending. He also assumed that Jerry's intention was good, but then also assumed my intention was to rub their face in it. Robert also shared many other opinions regarding me and culture wars. I'll spare you the details on that but could elaborate if asked. So, my dear Redditors, AITA? Asterisk no precedence, so I was confused. Odd flex? Edit, for context, Jerry is somewhere between 18 to 20 years old. Also, formatting. Story 2. AITA for not helping my brother. Hi I, F24, am looking for an outside perspective. My brother M, 26, met his now fiancée almost 5 months ago. She's based out of state and since then, morning, noon and night they have been snapping, FaceTiming etc. We live together so I have definitely heard my fair share of ooey-gooey honeymoon phase love. She seems cool and honestly they seem to get on well. However, they have been together for 4 months and got engaged last month. Personally, I feel that the marriage is of necessity and not strictly out of love, as his fiancée's visa is expiring in the new year. Honestly, if she makes him happy, go for it. However, I feel that if you're old enough to get married, you're old enough to handle certain things. For context, last night I was playing Madden and my brother yelled from upstairs if I could call our dad and ask for his address. Previously, he had me call my dad asking what part of the state he resides in. Honestly, I am getting tired of being the messenger in secret between my dad and brother when they literally follow each other on social media. My brother wants to send a letter to my dad, and keeps asking me to call him to ask for the address. For context, he hasn't spoken to him in 7 years and I call my dad maybe 4 to 5 times a year at max. I don't even know his address myself. I told him he could email him and get back in contact with him, but he kept nagging me about doing it. I let him know this afternoon via text also, I'm not reaching out to dad. Don't really feel comfy doing it. You have his email, reach out to him if you want. I just feel like if you can get married and do big kid shit, you can handle difficult moments such as reaching out to a absentee parent. AITA? Story 3. AITA parents invite themselves to my rented home, say my mom will get cancer if I say no. Background: I live in a mid-tier vacation destination that my parents enjoy visiting in the summer months and in the past have said they hate coming to in the winter because of the snow and cold. My mom recently went into remission from her cancer after a long 6 months of chemo. She did not handle it gracefully and required I come home, 2,400 miles round trip, no direct flights, every month for the duration of a week while she was in treatment. Frequently, if anyone around her receives sympathy, she brings up how hard chemo is. At one point during her treatments, I was coming for her birthday, and she told me if I did not extend my planned trip to be with her at chemo, I shouldn't come at all. And then goes to tell me it is horrible that I would not see her on her birthday while she has cancer. I caved and came for the extended trip. I think you get the picture, it is all about her and she loves to guilt people into obeying her. AITA, 2 weeks before I leave to visit my BF's family for Christmas, my parents ask me if they can stay in our home with their dog while me and my BF, are gone. I was hesitant listing that our rental does not allow dogs and accepted our dog as an exception. We don't know if people can stay in our home given that we live on the property with the landlord who has children, and that it would require a lot of cleaning and we are busy working and getting ready for our trip. My mom responded that it is no problem. Their dog is good, they are my parents, and we don't need to clean, they will be coming. I respond, well maybe, it depends on what the landlord says. Their dog is not good. He is anxious, shits in the house, and has freaked out and damaged things while in a random places they have stayed when left alone. I also don't think that these people are related to me is some legal argument in a lease. Finally, it is insulting that they say I don't have to clean for them. I am not the cleanest person. Are they supposed to sit amongst laundry in the living room, cook in a greasy kitchen, use a dirty bathroom, sleep on smelly sheets, etc.? The next day my dad calls me and tells me that my mom has a cancer screening next month and I would feel really bad saying no to her now if she found out she has cancer in January. AITA, or should my dad be taking her to a warm beach, her typical preference, rather than a frozen town? Story 4. AITA for not helping my parents which made them sell their house. I, 43F, have a younger sister, 38F, who has a lot of issues. Drug issues now, benzos and who knows what else, probably opioids, but growing up she was always the problem child. Liked to get into things and have interesting friends which caused our parents a lot of headache. She got pregnant at 16 with a guy nearly double her age. Mom made her get rid of it. So she has a lot of anger towards our parents for that. She then got pregnant again at 22 and moved out and has moved in and out every year since then. She has stole from our parents and they have spent a lot of time and money keeping her afloat. She has 3 kids and my mom hasn't had a vacation in over a decade since she babysits and takes care of them. My sister barely takes care of her own kids and often disappears for days, leaving our mom to deal with her kids. I really feel bad for both of them. Our dad took lots of overtime all the time because they are basically the kids' parents and they are getting older, mid-60s around retirement age, and can't retire. But I've told them to stop being involved, move away and let her deal with her own shit, and they won't. I've had enough dealing with my sister. She tried to flirt with my then BF now husband when we went over for the holidays one year and she acts in such irrational ways. Our parents helped her get jobs from friends who are business owners and she has caused them to lose those friendships because of her actions at work. I stay far away from her. My parents called me a few months ago asking for money because of my dad who recently had a heart attack. He has been forced to retire and they don't have money apart from old age pension. There is a over 55 condo they bought to retire in over a decade ago and they can't go because of the grandkids. I told them to go there and they said they can't because they still have the grandkids to take care of. I told them I can't help. I want to, but our parents have burned so much money on my sister that if I start opening my bank account to them I will be broke in no time. I told them they should go talk to the condo management about bringing the grandkids and they said they did and there is no accepts. My mom argued they only need $700 a month to keep their current home and I should be willing to help my nieces. I told her she used to have everything paid off and ready to retire, but helping my sister is a trap and cost them their retirement and I refuse to get involved. She keeps calling and texting me saying they are putting their house up for sale and recently sold. They had put a reverse mortgage on it years ago because of my sister, but that's dried up and now they can't pay the taxes, insurance, utilities, etc. She keeps telling me I have a responsibility to my nieces and I don't like my sister, but she's still family. I have money, both my husband and I are engineers, but I refuse to get involved with anything to do with my sister, including helping her kids. AITA for that. Story 5. AITA for changing the passcode on my phone without telling my boyfriend. For context, when I started dating him, several of my friends got really weird. For 2 years after my divorce, I was committed to staying single permanently, but then I got to know my BF. The second I went FB official, 2 guy friends were started saying if I can date him, I can date them. My gal friend, who owes me $5,000, started getting super clingy and concerned I'd spend money on my BF and tried to break us up. Turns out these friends were all taking advantage of me. When I started dating my BF, I gave him the passcode to my phone to show him I have nothing to hide. At first he was insecure because of trauma from his ex, eventually he saw that he can trust me. But it wasn't just for trust that I wanted him to have access. He'll look at texts for me to keep me safe from people looking to take advantage of me, and he's helped me kick my marketplace buying habit. I have a hard time remembering to tell him updates to my schedule, so he'll look through my phone and update himself and ask any questions. So over the last year, we've had each other's passcodes, but I've never needed to touch his phone for anything other than the flashlight. Well, I flew out to stay with a family member who needed help for 2 weeks. After being back for a week, I went through his phone to see what I missed. Well, he regularly texts an old friend from his high school. He was texting her while I was out of town and told her that he felt ignored by me when I was busy with family and didn't text him for over 8 HRS. He told her he wanted to take my belongings back to my house and break up with me when I get back. He told I cause him anxiety, but he doesn't want to break up with me because he depends on me paying his car insurance and phone bill. That was his reason for not breaking up with me. When I read that, he grabbed my phone and kept scrolling back in my messages until he found a message from 7 years ago where I told a friend about a guy I had desperately pursued over 10 years prior, that I don't talk to now. My BF started harping on that text message and tried insulting me about it. When I called him out on it, he said his insults were jokes and compliments. I smell BS. I told him that he violated my trust by using his access to my phone to find something to deflect from what I had read. He didn't listen and just explained how his actions are my fault. I still felt he violated my trust with the phone by using it to hurt me, but he wouldn't hear it, so I changed my passcode. He threatened to break up with me and make me miss work to get my stuff if I didn't give him my passcode. I gave it to him, but I still feel like he violated my trust. AITA for not thinking I'm wrong in this? AITA for changing my passcode? Please help me see what I did wrong. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.